Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Seance. I just watched a movie called Seance. It came out in 2001 on Shudder. Shudder is an app for $5.99 a month and it has lots of horror stuff. But it has type of like B-movie horror stuff or direct-to-DVD horror stuff. But Seance was a direct to streaming, which is another way of saying direct to video, direct to DVD. Basically, it's not going to be that great. It's kind of like indie stuff, you know. But I have to say, the acting was pretty good in this. It wasn't great, but it was decent, you know what I'm saying? And so that what made me even more hyped for watching it. Because the only reason why I watched it is because of certain actresses in it. Or YouTube personality, I should say. She's not really an actress. And that is Alana Sarkins. She is a YouTuber. She is hilarious in the stuff she does. She can fight really well in the stuff she does, which I don't know why she threw some weak punches in this movie. But I love watching her videos. Like the stuff she comes up with is great. And I always felt because of how funny she is in her videos, she deserves to like break out in the more TV and movie roles. She hasn't really done that much of that, but only a little bit. But she needs her own show, you know? Like her own streaming show, like a comedy show. So that's the only reason why I watched this movie, because she's in it. And then after I watched this movie, I'm like, okay, her acting's pretty good for like a YouTuber. I'm very shocked and surprised. Everybody's acting was pretty cool in this. And then when the killer is revealed, and everybody acting started to suck. I think it's when they found that out in the script, it's just like, what? But anyways, this movie sucked. First, the title is called Seance. You think they would be raising the ghost from the dead or something like that? They kind of do, but they really, for the most part, don't. See, the ghost only shows up, I'm not kidding you, 8 seconds in the movie. That's it. 8 seconds. Doesn't even deal with a ghost in this entire movie. So why call it Seance? Why even bring up a ghost? Why? That's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. So, and I watched a movie on Lifetime about like a sorority ghost that came back haunting and killing people. That was better than this, and that was a Lifetime movie, for crying out loud. So, this movie, what it entails, first of all, the person who directed this, he directed from a screenplay. His name is Simon Burnett. He is the one who directed the Blair Witch reboot movie, the third one, you know, the one that ignored the events of the second movie. He directed that. So you assume, now that movie had mixed reviews, but you assume he would come out with a better movie in Seance. Now, I didn't see the reboot of Blair Witch. I've never seen the first. I watched the second. I hate the second. That's why I never watched none of the other ones. But you assume he would have made a good movie, but he did not. And the main star of this is Suki Waterhouse. She plays Camille in this movie, or Camilla, or whatever you call it. And she starts off, you know, she's a model and she's a singer. She does some acting. She did a pretty good job in this for the most part. And it also stars like Madison Beatty, Beatty, something like that, how you would say her name. I've never really seen her before. She's done stuff with Librarians, and she was good in this until the end. And then, so like, it also still stars Ella-Rae Smith, and she was in Into the Badlands, the show I used to love. And so she did a pretty good acting job. And like I said before, in the whole movie, the acting is pretty good. So you assume, I was thinking, wow, I'm impressed. But then 30 minutes in the first or the second kill, I'm just like, that's how you kill somebody? I didn't even know that you had killed that person. It didn't even look like you stabbed that person. But so this movie was weak on the kills. It was weak on the title. There's no real ghost for the most part. This movie had terrible kills for like a horror movie. And I'm just like, I've seen better kills on like a TV show. And so like, there was nothing really to get me scared. So what happens is this. It's a group of girls at this all-girls academy. And so they're like doing this like seance thing, but they playing a trick on their friend. And what was her name? Friend name is Carrie and stuff. And so they playing a trick on her. So she's upset. She goes to her room all scared. And then all of a sudden she's looking out the window. And then the next scene comes and apparently she's dead now on the ground. So it's like, did she jump? Did she get pushed? Like what happened? So then it cuts from that to like a year later or so. And we get the Suki girl character now. I gotta say, she better be half Asian if her name is Suki or something, because that's more like a Asian sounding name. But the girl looks white. So anyway, the Camilla girl, Camille, whatever her name is, she shows up. She's the new girl in school. She's British and stuff, and so while she's there, this clique of girls are giving her a hard time because she's sitting down at their table. So they're cussing her out, they're smacking her, she's beating up on them, and so the headmaster shows up, and she breaks it up and gives all the girls detention. Well, being a new girl and stuff. So like yeah, the Alana girl, she plays Alice. She's like the queen bee. And so she does not like Kamel and stuff. And so, but the only person who befriended her in the clique is her not her roommate, my bad, is this one girl named Helena that's played by, well, I say Ella. So, anyway, Helena is the only girl in the clique who will befriend her. And so after a while, the other girls do start to come around and start being nice to Camille and stuff. Camilla. I'm just going to call her Camilla. Anyway. So, but they're having a hard time adjusting to her. So, and it's still kind of hectic. So they're having detention and, they're still goofing around and they get in trouble. And the headmaster lady does not like them. And Camille befriends a guy named Trevor who is like the handyman. He's the only guy in this whole thing. He is the son of the headmistress and stuff. So, like, one of the girls in the clique, like I said, 30 minutes in, gets stabbed. But it was a weak stab. I didn't even know she got stabbed until she saw the blood coming from her mouth. So she's dead, and like everybody's freaking out. And the headmistress is all like, y'all need to keep your mouth shut. We don't know how this girl died. And we'll need like the news people getting involved and stuff like that. But then when they pull back the blankets of her bed, there's like a weird symbol in blood, a cross. So they're trying to figure out, oh no, they must have raised the ghost from the dead and it's killing people. So they thinking, was it Carrie? Well, why would Carrie do that as a ghost? So they're looking in the archives and they're researching what ghost they might have summoned. And there's only one other girl who died at that school. And geez, what's that girl's name? Alice. And so like and then they look at Alice's picture. Oh, it's the cross symbol. She has it, a necklace and stuff. So they assume it's her they resurrected. But why is she killing them? And so, like, some more stuff happens and more girls in the clique are dropping dead. One girl dies in the shower. The other girl dies at dance rehearsal. And so they're still being mean to Camilla and stuff. And so they do another seance. And when they do that seance thing, they don't have a Ouija board. They just have a cell phone. And attached to the cell phone is a stick of like lipstick. And they doing it around like that. They're not even using the app. So I don't know what they're doing. It's a new way of like doing a Ouija board or something. So they ask Alice, who's killing everybody? Or they ask Carrie or somebody. They asking somebody. And they rolled out Camilla. So they're like, what? Like, and the girl's like, it's not me and everything. They like, people start, and she's like, it's not me who killing people. And so the girls, and this is when the movie dialogue starts to get stupid. Before it didn't, it was pretty good. And so they're all like, they're texting all their friends talking about, if anything bad happens to me or if I die, it's Camilla's fault. And this is a weird comedic thing. So they all don't trust her. She's upset. And so Camilla's laying in bed, and I thought this was a dream sequence at first. She sees Carrie's dead body for like all of like 3 seconds, and then she pulls back the covers again and nobody's there. So I assume she's just hallucinating or a dream. So she goes to Helena's place. Helena's all like, oh, I just took a Xanax and and all this stuff. Like, well, they also smoke some weed and stuff, but she's all like, "Can I sleep with you?" But she sleeps with her in her bed. It's a twin size bed. There ain't much room. And then there's something interesting happened that I did not see coming. Helena starts to like put her hand on the inside of what's her name, Camilla's like elbow, and then Camilla takes her hand and starts stroking Helena's hand. So I'm like, oh, so they liked each other. I didn't see that coming. I thought she liked it, Trevor and stuff. But so like after that, Alice gets like text message from one of the girls who died at dance rehearsal talking about, hey, I need to talk to you outside. Of course she's dead, so we know it's not her. So there's an actual killer somewhere loose on campus. Nobody's looking for the killer, nothing like that. And I'm just like, this is weak, man. I've seen better slasher movies than this. Like Urban Legends, the first one was and the second one was so much better than this movie. People actually try to look for the killer and stuff. So Alice goes outside, and then what's her name? Camilla hears it, so she leaves and she goes outside and she follows Alice. Both of them get knocked across the face by the killer. They wake up in this like little basement type place, and then the killers reveal themselves. One's Trevor and the other one is the redheaded girl in this movie. Madison and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, Madison's the killer, and so that's why she was so quick to blame Camilla and stuff. And so then here comes the monologue of why they're killing people. This is when the acting gets bad. They're playing this very, like when they talk now they talk very stilted. The two killers, very slow, trying to be like creepy, and I'm just like, your acting was so much better than this. Why are you acting this way now? Now your acting sucks. Because this movie sucks. So they reveal why she killed Carrie and everything. Because she stole her paper. See, Madison stole Carrie's essay, and she won a prize, some money, like $25,000, something like that. And so she was worried that Carrie would go and tell that, that she stole her paper, so she threw her off through the window, and that's how she died. And then then she's all like, well, I had to kill everybody else in the group, because what if she would have told her, what if they would have figured something out? And so I'm just like, so then she killed all her friends because of that. That's why she killed, because she stole the girl essay and was afraid people might find out and she had to give back the prize money. That is so weak. At least in Urban Legends final cut, I mean, yeah, it was a little weak to do kill people because he stole the movie and killed this, but it was a better setup. And with the whole school being a film school, so it made sense. That made sense for him to kill because he stole the dude's movie, because at least they're all in a film school. But this was just stupid. So at some point, Helena wakes up and she sees a light flickering outside. She assumes that all the girls are there and the killer and stuff. Why? Don't know. Bad writing. So, oh, by the way, Alice, she is knocked out sleep this entire time. She's knocked out doing the monologue of why the killer's doing what they're doing. She's knocked out doing the chase sequence. She's knocked out doing the fight sequence. She doesn't wake up until everybody's like dead and stuff. Anyway, but there's some more bad writing with that. I'll get to that a little bit later. So then Trevor decides he's going to explain why he's killing people and stuff. He killed Alice back in the day. She used to be his babysitter. He used to like scare her for fun. She didn't like being scared. He got pissed and beat her with a hammer and killed her. What? What? So a little teenage kid did that just because he wasn't allowed to scare somebody? Who wrote this crap, man? And so, like, then it turns out him and Madison have been dating ever since Madison was 14 years old in high school. He's older than her. Lord Jesus, have mercy. So before Camilla went outside to go investigate everything, she put a pocket knife in the back of her like pajama pants. And so she starts cutting herself free as they're like monologuing and stuff. But Madison's all like, I saw your shoulders move. I knew you had a knife. So she takes it from her. So she's not able to free herself. But then she also gave a police baton to Helena. So all of a sudden the lights go out. The lights go out. Reminds me of that song. So Madison's looking around, and then next thing you know, Trevor gets knocked out with a police baton. It's Helena. And then Camilla's like, again. So she hits him a second time to really knock him out. She frees both Alice and Camilla, and then so they're like walking out and stuff, and they're dragging Alice's body because she's still knocked out. Know that she is still she's really knocked out, completely knocked out. And so they're dragging her body out, but then here comes Madison, and she starts trying to kill Helena. That pisses off Camilla. So then they fight. So she tells her, get, what's the name out of here. So she drags Alice's body by herself. Lord have mercy. They got into like an MMA style martial arts fight. I'm not even joking. Oh, before all this, Helena saw Carrie's dead body for like a few seconds. That's where the extra 8 seconds came from. Right before she went out and started looking for everybody. That's the ghost. The ghosts don't do nothing. So I have to call seance. So I'm back to the fight. This was a poorly bad choreographed fight. It looked terrible. It would have made more sense for Alana's character, Alice, to do the fighting, because she actually fights on her YouTube channel and she's pretty good. She's even done some stuff for like WWE wrestling, but I forgot what exactly it was. But she doesn't do it no more. But she's never been on the show, I don't think. So anyway, I think she had like a tryout match or something like that. I can't remember what. I have to re-look that back up. So it's Suki Waterhouse and it's that crazy Madison girl. And they're like fighting in a very poorly executed John Wick wannabe type fight. It is terrible. It's embarrassing. And then so the Camilla girl is able to get the upper hand because she climbs on a bookshelf. And she's playing around with the light fixture, like a big, huge light fixture. And she pulls it down, and then it just falls on Madison. What the world? How is that so random? And then as like Camilla is walking over Madison's body and stuff, a chunk from the ceiling falls off and hits Camilla in the head, and she's knocked out. Is this now a comedy? So they both wake up and they're both struggling and fighting, and then Madison's looking for her. And then Camilla had a piece of the light bulb. It's one of those long light fixtures with those rod type light bulbs. She takes it and shoves it in the neck of like Madison, which is some bad CGI, but it goes in like really fast. And then she takes it and she slits her throat with it. So Madison's now dead. So now she's trying to get back to the other two who have left the building. Trevor wakes up. They struggle, they fight. And then those things in the library, they're like these huge metal like drawers that have like cards and stuff in them. She takes that and she knocks it over on his head. One would assume it will crush his head. Because he got trapped on the ground when they were struggling. His foot got trapped on something, so he couldn't move. So she pushes the dresser, the metal dresser thing on his head. One would assume it will crush his head. No, not this movie. It slices his head off clean from the neck. That's not humanly possible if that thing falls down on you. It's not sharp. It's not gonna slice your head like a guillotine. It's a huge clunky metal object. It's gonna smash your head. This movie's stupid. Then we see Camilla run back to her dorm room and she's packing. I'm like, why is she packing for? And she then it's revealed. She takes a bunch of envelopes, and in the envelope there are pictures. She knew Carrie, the girl who died from the window, who the girl stole her essay from. So it's like, well, hold up. So this whole thing was planned out. Like you knew the girl. So she's running to leave, and then she gets stopped by Helena. And she's all like, "Are you leaving?" And she's all like, "I have to." Then the big confession comes. Camilla, that's not even her real name. She's using a fake name. When people thought Carrie committed suicide, jumped out the window, she wanted to find out why her friend killed herself. So she enrolled into a very expensive all-girls school. Yeah, cause that makes sense. She changed her name and then started doing some investigating. So she started hanging out with the friends of Carrie to find out if they were the killer. Cause that makes sense. And so this whole time she's just been trying to figure out like who killed her friend. And then after that she found that out and killed that person. Now she's hightailing it out there so the police won't have to investigate her and stuff. You can't make this stuff up. This is a terrible movie. Oh, and when Madison was alive in the whole seance thing and the cell phone and why it wrote out Camilla's name, she confesses that she put a magnet on the bottom of the table and moved it around so the cell phone would go connect to the magnet. She said, if anybody would have looked underneath the table, I would have been found out. Why would you write that in? Lord Jesus, have mercy. So back with Helena and fake Camilla and stuff. So she's all like, and she just starts talking stupidly, talking about how I have to go on the run, I can't talk to the cops. And Helena's all like, but I like you. How am I supposed to contact you? And then, so Camilla runs up to her and gives her a big old kiss on the lips. And it's all like, I'll find you. And then she goes off and everything. And the movie ends. I'm just like, this movie's stupid. Oh, then she waves goodbye to Helena. But then the ghost of Carrie comes and waves at her. She waves back at her. So that's the whole ghost in this seance movie. You'd think it would be about ghosts killing people, but it's not. It's about two lame killers. And a ghost that pops up for like 8 seconds. I am embarrassed for everybody who starred in this movie. Because they did not deserve this. Because their acting was good. The dude who directed the Blair Witch reboot, even he deserved better than it. No wait, he didn't direct Blair Witch, he wrote it. That's what he did. That's right. He wrote Blair Witch, he didn't direct it. But yeah, and it's just like, but he directed this movie, and I'm just like, this was a Shudder movie, so they the one who produced this thing. They also made another one called The Power. That movie started off great, and it had some really good acting. But then towards the end, it was stupid. And I don't even feel like reviewing that movie because I'm just tired of talking now. And also, it's not no point. I mean, maybe I'll do it a little bit later. Maybe I should. I'm busy for the rest of the day. I gotta do some stuff. But I'm gonna try to upload all these videos today. And I might get into that later. I don't know because I gotta start watching some more horror stuff. So, some good horror stuff. But let's just put it this way, the Power movie. There's an episode of The Haunting Hour called Lights Out. It's a little cheesy, but it's a million times better than The Power. Let's just put it like that. That wasn't that spooky. Alright, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.